So tonight we're going to start with page 330 as we sing Ma Yafeh Hayom.
Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. 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 Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
So let's turn now to page 3. Page 3.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us find the knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need and all who bring offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. You can go right there. You guys don't see anything. Oh, that's how I'm supposed to hold it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. So it's been a week where the hostage was released, but there are still so many lost in captivity. And so again we light our candle and say our prayer. Baruch atah Adonai matir asurim. Blessed is God who redeems the captives. And we hope and pray that the rest of those held captive or hostage, those alive and those not, be returned to their families soon. Amen.
Right.
Let's turn to page 374, and please rise for Hatikva.
Kol balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homiya ufatem Kadima Ain Olo amda tikvatenu, hatikva bat shnot apayim, liot am choshi be'artenu, Eretz Zion Yerushalayim, liot am choshi be'artenu, Eretz Zion Yerushalayim.
You may be seated. Let's turn now in our prayer books to page 13. I still have the ability to throw a curveball every now and then. We're going to do a song that we probably did years ago, maybe.
What's this?
But Rabbi Ari will share it with us. Page 13.
That's not the right key. That's not going to work. Sorry. My bad.
You tried.
It's these curveballs. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Leyom, Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Leyom, Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Leyom, Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Leyom, Yeshuato, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz.
Let's turn to page 14. And in the part of the English at the top that is indented, let's read together. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exult. Let the sea and all within it thunder. The fields and everything in them exult.
Then shall all the trees of the
The
forest
forest
shout for joy
at the presence of Adonai, for God is coming. For God is coming to rule the earth.
God will rule the world justly and its people in faithfulness.
faithfulness. And now let us turn to page 20 and 21 as we join together with
Lecha Dodi, Likrak Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha Dodi, Likrak Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Hishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shem tiferet v'litila, Lecha Dodi, Likrak Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela. Lecha Dodi, Likrak Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki mekor ha'veracha, Merosh mikerem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh v'machshava techila. Lecha Dodi, Likrat הקלה מפני שבת וקרלה לחרדי לקרוא הקלה מפני שבת וקרלה התעוררי התעוררי כי לעורר ומי אורי 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 שיר דבר כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לחרדי לקרוא קלה לפני שבת וקרלה לחרדי לקרוא קלה לפני שבת וקרלה בואי בשלום עטרת בהלה גם בשמחה וצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לחרדי לקרוא קלה לפני שבת וקרלה לחרדי לקרוא קלה לפני שבת וקרלה לחרדי לקרוא קלה לפני שבת וקרלה לחרדי לקרוא קלה לפני שבת וקרלה.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Let's greet everyone. It's a good thing to do tonight.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Simchas, happy moments, positive events, expressions of joy. Yes.
I started my new job this week after
Ooh.
Joanne's closed my store, so I'm now assistant manager of adult entry.
All right.
Okay. All right.
But are things still $1?
Technically, a few things are.
All right. Okay. Any other simchas, happy things?
Don't look at me.
College is out, school
School ends next week for me, I guess.
Yes, our Gaga pit has been refreshed.
Yes!
Right? Now we just need to get students to go play Gaga. Right? So.
It's not the season right now.
It is definitely not
Gaga
the
season
season.
picks up again in the fall.
Yeah.
What is Gaga?
It's kind
Dodgeball, but for your legs.
Yeah.
We'll have to explain it to you sometime. It's
We'll
fun.
have to have an adult Gaga day.
It's knuckle scraping fun.
So let's turn now in our prayer books. We're going to go to page 26. And Crystal is going to lead us.
Yitzgadal v'yikadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
What?
Keep
Go
going.
ahead.
Bel nadi v'rakirte v'yamlich malchute.
Uchayetecho beYisrael Bagala Bagala Ubizman Kariv Imeru Amen Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam lo me'omaya
Yitbarach, Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yishpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, shemei dekudusha b'rihu, le'olam min kol birchata v'shirata,
Tushbechata v'nechemata Tamiran be'oma
v'yimaru.
Amen.
We now turn to page 28 and rise as able for Baruchu.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed.
Page 30.
Sorry. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv arabim v'chochma poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishane itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim v'mishmerotehem barakia kirtsono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech
Choshech mipnei or.
Uma'avir yom u'mevi laila, u'madil ben yom u'vein laila, Adonai Sevaot Shemo. El Chai v'kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim.
On page 33.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works in the living language that it gives form? Baruch atah Adonai,
Ohev
Amo
Amo
Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
You may be seated.
ואהבת
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Let's continue now on page 37, where we read together. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act.
Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Tell
about them
at work,
whether you are tired or you are rested.
Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision.
Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God.
I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God.
And now we continue on page 40.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ki chamocha ba'elim Adonai, ki chamocha be'erar HaKodesh. No rak tehilot, osef eleh, osef eleh, osef eleh. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ki chamocha ba'elim Adonai, ki chamocha be'erar HaKodesh. No rak tehilot, osef eleh, osef eleh, osef eleh. Who is like you, Adonai, who is like you? Adonai, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Thank you, because I cannot breathe.
So now we continue on page 42 with Hashkivein.
Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim.
So we now continue on page 46 as we rise as able for tefillah. Page 46.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, V'mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah, Rav Hoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Samech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, Umatzir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umidam Melach, Melech Memit Umechayek, Umatzviach Yeshua, V'nemanata Chayot Achol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. kadosh shimcha kadosh ukedoshim b'chol yom yalucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Elohim HaKadosh.
And let us all say Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. We continue now on page 55 at the top.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despite find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise.
Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Top of page 57 in the Hebrew. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amcha Yisrael utfilatam b'hava tekabel udhi l'ratzon hamid avodat Yisrael amecha Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha b'yir'ah na'avod. And together, let's read the top of page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulcha na'eh lehodot.
Shalom Ra Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki ata melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. B'tov b'necha levarech et Amacha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם.
Please take the next few moments for your own private reflection. Please pray silently.
לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך.
Now we turn our thoughts to those in our community who are struggling with illness, those who we carry with us, and those whom our friends and neighbors have shared. This Shabbat we call out Joan Adler and Bill Ellis, Stuart Levin, Deanna Solomon, Lenore Adler, and Susan Hertz, Aaron Kugler, Alan Levin, Karen Ellis, Judith Levy, David Belkin, and Gary Habercorn Holm. And if you have any additional names you want to share, please call them out. On page 253, let's join together with Misha Barach.
Misha Barach Avotenu Mekor Abracha Leimotenu May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mekor Abracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May the Holy and Blessed One bring healing to all those that we've named out loud and in our own hearts. And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
Tony. Announcements.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and welcome to our members, guests, and virtual congregants. We hope that your participation in the Shabbat has been meaningful. All right, let me share with some upcoming events that may be interesting to you. We are encouraging all of our religious school families to register early for next year and are offering a $50 discount on each student through May 31st. If you have any questions, please reach out to Jason Levin or Cindy for any additional information. All right, join the Sugarland Space Cowboys for Jewish Heritage Night on May 18th. Enjoy an evening out with friends and family. First pitch is at 2:05 p.m., so get your games in before summer arrives. Pardon? Too late?
Too late.
Well, I did look, and there's a steady breeze all afternoon, about 14 to 16 miles an hour. So if you're not going sailing, go to the ball game. And hopefully the wind's blowing out when we're at bat and blowing in when the visitors are batting. There's additional information in the newsletter. Don't forget that we do gather for Torah study online every Thursday at 12:30 p.m. and the second and fourth Saturdays of each month live here at the temple. We also have Shabbat morning services on the second and fourth Saturdays. And then, somehow people have forgotten this, and we're really going to publicize it, is that our next board meeting is this Tuesday, May 20th at 7 p.m., and everyone is welcome. We're right next door in the Diane Danberg Strength and Learning Center here at Temple. So if you're interested and want to know what's going on and listen in and provide some input to the board meetings, they're the third Thursday of every month, so everybody is welcome. And finally, please join us in the lobby following services for Kiddush, Motzi, and Oneg Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. So, tonight, actually this is a week in the life of a rabbi, where I started to write one sermon, got about 2/3 of the way through it, and threw it away. And then I wrote another sermon, because I thought it would be better to tell this story that is a very important story, especially today. So tonight I want to share with you an extended story about Shimon Bar Yochai. He's one of the great rabbis of the Talmudic era, and he was a student of Rabbi Akiva and ultimately became the leader of really one of the most influential traditions in Jewish life. He lived at the time of the destruction of the temple by Rome, and his story becomes part of the tradition surrounding Lag BaOmer, which happened today. Lag BaOmer, the 36th day of the counting of the Omer. And so, in fact, according to Jewish tradition, the reason we tell the story is because it's his yahrzeit. He died on Lag BaOmer. And on Mount Meron, which is where he is buried in Israel, there are gatherings, huge gatherings and bonfires and all kinds of frenetic activity on Lag BaOmer, so because, we'll get to that a little bit later. So the era of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was fraught with suffering and trials for the Jewish people. The Romans, then under the rule of Hadrian, persecuted the Jews wherever they found them. They destroyed the temple, tried to force the surviving Jews to convert to Rome's pagan religion. They executed 10 of the Jewish community's leading scholars using a variety of methods of brutal torture. And among these 10 martyrs were the rabbis who had taught Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and we recall those 10 on Yom Kippur in a special part of the afternoon liturgy. The Talmud reports how Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai came to be set apart as an enemy of the state by the Roman governor. One day, Rabbi Yehuda Bar Eli, Rabbi Yossi, and Rabbi Shimon were sitting together. Yehuda ben Gerim joined them. Rabbi Yehuda said, "Look what fine projects this nation undertakes. They build marketplaces, bridges, and bathhouses. Rabbi Yossi remained silent and said nothing. But Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai replied, "They did everything for their own benefit. They set up the marketplaces for their own pleasure and good. They built bathhouses to indulge in their own pleasure. They built bridges so that they would be able to charge tolls for using them." Yehuda ben Gerim went and told his family what Rabbi Shimon had said. Word spread from one person to another and reached the ears of the governor, who declared Rabbi Yehuda, who praised the Romans, will be promoted to the chief spokesman everywhere. Rabbi Yossi, who remained silent, will be exiled to Tzipori. And Rabbi Shimon, who spoke ill of us, will be executed. Well, Rabbi Shimon learned of the governor's intentions, and he took his son, Rabbi Eleazar, and hid in the study hall. Each day his wife brought them bread and water. And when the search for him intensified, Rabbi Shimon feared that his hiding place would be discovered. So he told his son, I fear the authorities will find us, will torture your mother, and she will be forced into revealing our hiding places. Rabbi Shimon and his son left the study hall and fled outside of the city. They hid in a cave in the village of Pekin, which is in the upper Galilee, and heaven provided them with sustenance by creating a carob tree at the mouth of the cave and a spring filled with fresh water. The authorities threatened to execute him for the crime of teaching Torah. Fearing for his life, Rabbi Shimon fled together with his son, Rabbi Eleazar. The two men hid in this cave for 13 years before they were informed that it was safe to emerge. While they were in the cave, this is great, while they were in the cave, they removed their clothing so that they would not wear out their clothes. They covered themselves with sand up to their necks out of modesty, and they studied Torah day after day after day. And when it was time to recite prayers, they would dig themselves out of the sand, shake it off, put on their clothes, and recite their prayers. For 12 years, father and son remained secluded in the cave, and no one knew of their whereabouts, except for, who else? Elijah the prophet, who visited them twice a day and studied with them. During this period, Rabbi Shimon gained great spiritual heights in his knowledge of Torah, and many secrets were revealed to him. According to Jewish tradition, it was during those 12 years in the cave that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai wrote the text of the Zohar, the great mystical commentary on the Torah. Rabbi Shimon then had the text of the Zohar buried in the cave until the Jewish world was ready for its wisdom 1,200 years later. For 12 years, Rabbi Shimon and his son remained hidden. Finally, the Roman governor died, and his decree against Rabbi Shimon was annulled. However, he was unaware of these developments, so Elijah the prophet came to the mouth of the cave, and he said, "Who will inform the son of Yochai that the governor has died, and his decrees are therefore annulled?" So Rabbi Shimon and his son heard these words, and they left the cave. They came upon some men plowing a field. Rabbi Shimon was taken aback. He asked, "How can people stop studying Torah and occupy themselves with such mundane earthly matters?" So everywhere the two people gazed, the two men gazed, was immediately scorched by their gaze, X-ray vision or something. A heavenly voice said to them, "Did you come out of the cave to destroy my world? Go back to your cave." So they went back to the cave after 12 years for another 12 months. And Rabbi Shimon declared, "We've been punished enough. Look, we've been in, even evildoers in the world are not punished for more than 12 months. So a heavenly voice said, "Go, you can leave the cave again." So the question we're left with was, what does being in this cave teach? Well, one of my favorite books, because I'm a philosophy geek, is The Allegory of the Cave, a well-known allegory used by the Greek philosopher Plato in his book, The Republic. It's a story about a group of people who live their entire lives chained in a cave, facing a wall. They can't turn their heads, so they can only see the shadows of objects projected on the wall by a fire behind them. They believe that the shadows are reality, and they have no knowledge of what's outside the cave. Well, one day, one of the prisoners is freed, and he's forced to turn around and face the fire, and eventually he's brought outside the cave and exposed to the sun and the real world. He sees the true nature of reality and realized that what he had previously believed to be reality was just an illusion. And when he returns to the cave to share his newfound knowledge with the others who are still in the prison, they do not believe him. They think he's gone crazy. The allegory is often interpreted as a metaphor for the journey of a person seeking enlightenment and knowledge. The cave represents the physical world. The shadows represent the world of appearances. And the real world outside the cave is the world of forms, which are ideal and eternal, and concepts that are beyond the physical world. The allegory highlights the importance of critical thinking and intellectual independence, and the role of the student in seeking truth and promoting intellectual inquiry. It also has significant ethical implications, particularly in terms of the relationship of knowledge and power, the role of education in creating a just society, and the responsibilities of those in power to seek truth and promote enlightenment. I think here we find the real meaning of that story and Shimon Bar Yochai's life. While Shimon Bar Yochai and his son spent all those years learning Torah in secret, none of it had any meaning until he emerged from his cave and learned to live again in the world. How we manage in this complicated world and maintain a life in pursuit of education and knowledge and uphold our covenantal faith is all built upon the teachings of Shimon Bar Yochai and his son. Even in the midst of our preparation towards Shavuot and the receipt of the Ten Commandments, we take a break today to live in the world and to celebrate life. That's what Lag BaOmer is. And so we mark this day, Lag BaOmer, the 36th day of the counting, the day of remembrance, the day of awareness, the day of living faith and building future. Our counting leaves us 23 days until Shavuot. And during those next 23 days, may we focus our strength on the ethical choices we have and embrace the covenant between us and the Holy and Blessed One. And let us all say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. So let's turn now in our prayer books to page 283 as we rise as able for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא שם חלקנו לאחר את שמו, וגאור עלינו להמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים מיוסר הארץ, ומשה יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, הם מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו. ידעת היום והשבותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. May be seated. At this sacred time, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and our neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race, every nation, and faith, whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. This Shabbat, we mark the recent deaths of Gail Gerson, father of Cindy Bennett, and Verna Smith, mother of Taya Golden. We also mark the yard sites for Bernice Carlton, mother of Roberta Ray, Dale Pollock, husband of Melanie Pollock, Tsipora Olesker, aunt of Samar Rubin, Harold Rogers, the uncle of Norma Belkin, Teresa Levine, mother-in-law of Ron Grabois, Benjamin Golden, Selma Goldstein, related to Dr. Sarah Goldstein, Sari Motley, cousin of Dr. Sarah Goldstein, Bernard Neubauer, father of Marla Hansel, Rose Taxon, grandmother of Bruce Greenberg. Are there any additional names for Kaddish this evening? For all of them, we say, Zechronam Levracha, may their memories be with us as a blessing. As together we turn to page 294 and rise as a community for Kaddish. Yetkada v'yetkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma devarach yirteh v'yamlik mochuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agala b'zman kariv yimaru, amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam elamei alamaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shemei Dekud Shabrichu, Leila Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata, Tushbechata V'Nechemata, Damiran B'Yalama V'Yimaru, Amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mramav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and bring comfort to all who are bereaved among us. And let us all say, Amen. You may be seated. As we close, we turn to page 62 and join together with Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom Imromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Imromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru Amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oseh Shalom Imromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru Amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, Ve'imru Amen.
Thank you to Max, whose bar mitzvah is 2 weeks away, and to Crystal, wherever she ended up. Aha. For helping in our service, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and join us in the lobby.